Hey everyone, today I've got my really shiny brass tray out and I am picking a Lockwood Twin. So Lockwood is an Australian company. They were purchased by Assa Abloy, just like everybody else was. I don't know if this lock was made by Lockwood before or after the acquisition, but this is definitely an Assa Abloy one. And it's got a lot of similarities to many of the other Assa Twin type of locks, but it's way easier. So if you look here, you can see my key pins are all standard key pins. Most of the drivers are standard drivers. We do have some fancy Lockwood spools here. One in chamber 2 and one super inconveniently placed in chamber 6. If I didn't know better, I would say somebody did that on purpose. I'll talk about that in 1 second. So that's the main locking mechanism. Secondarily, you have whoops, I wasn't going to dump the springs, but I guess I am now. You have a sidebar groove in here that you can see right there. And there is a sidebar in this lock, and the sidebar is controlled by pins, side pins, that are over here. So this particular one, the bitting was a max lift in the middle and 2 almost max lifts on either side of it. So here's the almost max lift. You can see it's got a false gate underneath the true gate, so it's an overset trap. And then this one, the true gate is further down in the pin because it goes up this way. And you've got 2 false gates above it. And those interact with the sidebar here. The sidebar has all of the ridges on the top. So the bitting matches the pins. The sidebar is generic. I'm guessing that they are all like this to some degree. So sidebar fits in the side of the plug right here. There's the groove for that. And nothing special in here, no milling or anything weird like that. The keyway is a little awkward. So you can see there's an undercut there where the sidebar bitting goes. And so you got this wording right here. So you can't go straight up and down. And then because of this key, you can see I had like a low lift in the front, and then I think it's a min lift in number 4. I couldn't stick a pick right through on top of the wording to pick anything. This bitting was not fun. I was trying to pick it with so many different hooks, and you can see if I use this as my fulcrum, I cannot get pin 6 without oversetting 4 or 5. Even my steep hook here, you can see it just barely looks like it oversets 4. It's so tight. I don't know if that one would work. I tried. This is a Jimmy Long's deep hook. This is a Lockwood Tools deep hook. You can see it does the same thing. I tried so many different profiles to see what would actually work on this. That one doesn't work right there. That oversets something. I don't have a Peterson super deep hook. I think it's a number 5. I do have this Peterson reach, which I bent to try to make it work. That one looks like it should, well, no, because that hits pin number 5, it looks like. That one didn't work. It was a mess. The one thing I did try that did work is, I don't even know what this is. It's from Lockwood Tools. I should look it up and tell you what the profile name is, but it's like probably one of the weird ones, like a bijou or something. And if you look right there, that one works. It can touch pin 6. I'll put in the middle. It can touch pin 6 without oversetting 4 and 5. So this is what I finally had to end up using to set pin 6. So this is like potentially the worst bidding I could possibly have imagined for this lock. And it was super awkward again, because if I wanted it down here, you know, off the bottom of the keyway, which I needed the space, that meant I had to come in on this side and then angle my pick and lift it up at an angle. So this way, right? Because I can't put it here and go straight up because of the warding. So you can see that I'm rubbing against both sides of the warding. So I had to go in over here and go in at an angle. And it was a pain. And that is what took me the longest to figure out how to pick this. So, not technically super difficult, but you know, just goes to show you that with bidding that's bad enough, anything can be a nightmare. So, and this probably qualifies as a nightmare for me. I struggled a lot, but I got it open on video. So we will get over into the next section, and I will have it up in a vise and get it picked. Okay, I've got a Lockwood Twin here. My key works. And let's see if we can get this open. Pin 5. Pin 3. Pin 1. Pin 4. And pin 2 is a spool, so I'm going to get counter rotation here. Okay. I'm going to do the sidebar next. Pin 1 on the sidebar. Pin 2 on the sidebar. Pin 3 on the sidebar. And back to pin 2. Because it needs to be lifted a whole bunch. Alright. And I think I might just need to tap up pin 1 and 3. Oop. So I overset those. I'm just going to drop the sidebar pins real quick here. There's nothing technically difficult about this sidebar, but I've noted that sometimes when I'm trying to set the pins, for whatever reason, it just feels wrong. I think it might be the pins oversetting or something like that, but I can almost immediately tell that something is not right. I dropped one of the top stacks there. I can tell. Because the sidebar is not sitting anymore. No, maybe not. All feels okay still. Okay, there we go. That feels good for the sidebar. Okay. Here's where the lock gets maddening. I have like the worst bidding known to man on this lock. And I need to lift pin 6, which I have not touched yet, through counter rotation because it is a spool, but it's like the worst spool imaginable. It's a max lift behind 2 real low lifts, and I gotta use a weird profile pick to even reach it. If I've done it wrong, you'll know, and I'll have to repeat it endlessly, forever, which is kind of what it seems like I do with this lock. My sidebar is not cooperating again here. Oh, those are overset. It's overset again. Told you the sidebar is a little wonky. I sometimes wonder if it's because I'm setting it front to back, and maybe I can like push some of the front pin past where it's supposed to be. I'm not really sure. It just seems like sometimes it gives me more trouble than it should. Just make sure that I haven't dropped any of these yet. Maybe that's it right there. I think pin 2 needs to get set again. No, maybe not. Actually, let me, since I'm here, check pin 6. 4. Okay, that's 4. That's 5. I think I felt pin 6 set, but I definitely dropped some stuff, and now things aren't feeling like they're binding, so maybe I'm undersetting it. 3, 4, 5. pen is such a pain. I feel with any other bitting, this lock would be an order of magnitude easier to pick. Working pin 2 up here. Okay. Let's see if pin 6 is not set. It is not. Every time I do that, I get a little bit of butterfly in my stomach. because it might be the time that it opens. And then it doesn't, and I do this again. Oh, actually, you know, I take it back. Pin 6 might actually be set this time. Pin 2 is not, though. That is unfortunate, because usually that is no problem. And if I dropped pin 6 there while I was setting that, I'm going to be really sad. Oh, I did it. Goodness sakes. All right, let's get this thing. So shackle's open. It's free spinning. It's going to close itself again here in a second. Oh, I could probably zoom out a little bit. Okay. I think we're going to gut this into a very shiny brass tray, because this is a very shiny brass lock. Alrighty. So we gotta remove this screw here. There's the actuator in there. Oh, yeah, we'll keep that right there. All right. So you can see that that is open. I could take this cover strip off the top, but I don't know if I want to. I'm just gonna relock it. Great. Okay. I'm never good at this. So we're gonna see how this goes. I gotta remove this tail piece here. This might be a mess because I don't know what I'm doing. Well, let's put the key in. I'm hoping the key will hold stuff in place. Okay, that worked all right. Let's look at the sidebar here. Little tiny sidebar. Whoop. You can see ridges at the top. Oh, they're all at the top. I wonder if look in here. So there's the pins. The pins must, my bitting on the sidebar is not all max, so there must be something that the pins do so that they all get lifted to the top. We'll put the sidebar there, and let's grab these sidebar springs. Put them next to that. Okay. Oh, look at all the brass dust. I'm really sorry. Use poor lock. I butchered you. Okay. I'm going to do the key pins, I think, here first. Oh, those are not key pins. Those are both drill protection. Okay, key pin. There's a key pin. There's a key pin. I think this one goes here. All right. There are the key pins. And these side pins are probably going to launch themselves out as I pull the key here. One, two, and three. Okay, and then there's some springs in there, but I think maybe we'll leave those in. You can see the springs and the chambers. Is there any milling in here? I don't think that there's milling in here. There is no milling in here. You know what, we'll do the springs just for completeness sake. Oh, is that two right there? Yeah. Where do you get over there? Okay. So there's the side pins. And the springs there. Put the plug there. And let's look at the drivers here. Driver number 1 is a standard pin. Driver number 2 is going to be a spool. I knew it. 3 is standard. I'm guessing that the rest of these are standards except for number 6, which is also a spool. That one doesn't want to lay flat. There we go. All right, and number 6. I don't think I'm going to take the springs out of here. But you can see that all the springs are in there. No milling or anything in the chamber. And there's the sidebar groove, which is unaltered. Let's take a closer look at this stuff, because I have not looked at this yet. There is everything all laid out. These nice spools here. And the driver is just a driver, I think. Nothing weird on the key pins, as far as I can tell. And let's look at these side pins. Yeah, so that one's got looks like a couple false gates and then a true gate. So I have to lift it through a couple clicks. And then that one, just one false gate, but it's below the true gate. So I'm guessing that doesn't interact. Same for that one. I think that's probably an overlift trap. I did definitely overlift those a couple times, so I could totally see that working. But then the middle one, which is the one that I actually did have to do a max lift for right there, has two false gates that you have to clip through. So, all right. I don't know what to think about this lock. It was not super hard except for that bitting. Jeez, killed me. But other than that, I mean, nothing too super tricky in here. The sidebar a little closer, you can see the notches there. Interesting that the sidebar, it's not like an ASA sidebar where the sidebar has the bitting and the pins are all the same. This one, the side pins are different and the sidebar doesn't have any bitting. So just a little bit different there. All right, there you go. Lockwood Twin, picked and gutted. Finally, this was like my 4th or 5th time trying to video this lock after I got it open the first time. So I'm glad that that's done. I don't know if I want to pick that again with that bitting. It was kind of mean. Thank you for watching though.